You think you can outrun the law? These gangsters thought the same, until these 7 lethal mistakes sealed their fate behind bars permanently. They had money, power, and blood on their hands, but not a single escape plan. Stick with me until the end. You won't believe how fast their empire turned to ashes. Number 1, the lifestyle mistake. When you're a gangster, the whole world knows you're rolling in cash. You want to flex, and maybe you can intimidate your enemies, right? But that's where the mistake begins. Rappers, gangsters, influencers, all of them are guilty of this. But in the world of crime, it's a ticket straight to prison. Nuke Bizzle, a rapper from St. Louis, released a music video where he bragged about defrauding the government's unemployment program during COVID. While the world was on lockdown, Bizzle wasn't just running scams, he was rapping about them. In his music video EDD, he proudly flashed stacks of government envelopes and debit cards, bragging about filing fake unemployment claims. The lyrics they was straight-up confessions. "Go to the bank with a stack of these," he rapped, holding up mail from California's EDD. His words, "You gotta sell cocaine, I just filed the claim." That wasn't a flex. That was a federal charge waiting to happen. And it hit him hard. When they arrested him in Vegas, investigators found 92 debit cards tied to over $1.2 million in stolen benefits. He was caught with 8 cards, 7 under different names. The feds didn't even need to dig too deep. He handed them the evidence on Instagram, YouTube, and in every bar he spit. Now he's facing up to 22 years behind bars, all because he couldn't stop showing off. And the flex became a major trap for him. Similarly, Tekashi 6ix9ine's flashy online presence made him a magnet for law enforcement attention. From posting stacks of cash to flaunting luxury cars and gang affiliations, his posts were later used in court to link him to criminal activity tied to the 9 trade Gangsta Bloods. Although he avoided a lengthy sentence by cooperating with the government, the damage was already done. In the world of crime, silence is golden. Number 2, the loyalty mistake. One thing about gangsters, they live and die by loyalty. Loyalty is key in the criminal world. But what happens when the person you trust turns on you? Take Sammy the Bull Gravano. He wasn't just any mobster, he was the underboss of the Gambino crime family and right hand to John Gotti, one of the most powerful bosses in New York. Together they plan out the assassination of Paul Castellano. That hit didn't just change the power structure, it put John Gotti on the throne and made Gravano the trusted underboss of the Gambino crime family. But loyalty of the mafia is only real until things get shaky. When Gotti started suspecting Gravano might be talking to the feds, Gravano knew his days were numbered, so he flipped. In 1991, he turned state's witness, admitted to being involved in 19 murders, and testified against Gotti. That testimony hit like a bomb. Gotti got a life sentence, and Gravano served just 5 years, thanks to the deal he made and betrayal. It helped authorities take down an entire empire. Number 3, the technology mistake. El Chapo was one of the most wanted drug lords in the world. But in the end, it wasn't a shootout or betrayal that brought him down. It was a technology mistake. For years, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman used encrypted phones, satellite connections, tunnels, and a tight circle of aides to dodge the DEA and Mexican authorities. He changed devices, constantly moved locations, and even escaped through underground routes. But his downfall came when he made one small move: a single satellite phone call asking for help while hiding in a tunnel in Culiacan. That slip gave DEA, CIA, and Mexican agents just enough to start tracking. They used wiretaps, call tracing, and intercepted BlackBerry messages to follow the signals. When a phone led them to a house in Culiacan, they raided it, but the tech kept talking. Eventually, the trail led to a hotel in Mazatlan, where El Chapo was captured without a fight. Then he was sentenced to life in prison for 30 years and ordered to forfeit $12.6 billion. Was El Chapo's downfall caused by just a single phone call? Drop your thoughts below. Number 4, the ego mistake. Ego is a deadly thing, especially in the world of gangsters. An inflated ego can be the beginning of the end. The death of King Von is a perfect example of how pride can lead to tragedy. The feud between King Von and Quando Rondo wasn't just a rap beef, it had real consequences. Von was affiliated with Lil Durk, while Quando Rondo was mentored by NBA Youngboy. The tension reportedly began when Von posted pictures with Youngboy's ex-girlfriend. In one of his videos, Von even rapped, "Ain't no rap beef and ain't no real beef unless somebody got shot or something." Whether it started from personal drama or street politics, things eventually turned deadly. On November 6, 2020, outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, the situation exploded. A fight broke out between the two crews, and then the shooting started. Moments later, Lul Tim, a close associate of Quando Rondo, pulled a gun and shot King Von, killing him on the spot. After the shooting, Quando Rondo claimed it was self-defense. He later released a track with NBA Youngboy titled "Want Me Dead," which further intensified the situation. In the end, it was the need to prove dominance that led to unnecessary conflict and a tragic loss of life. Number 5, the documentation mistake. Drill music is known for its raw and violent lyrics that often detail real-life crimes. While many see it as art, but law enforcement sees it as evidence. Some of these rappers made a massive mistake by singing about their illegal activities in their songs. In the UK, drill rappers have faced legal consequences for their lyrics. In 2019, Skengdo and AM were given suspended prison sentences for performing their song Attempted 1.0 at a concert. In Attempted 1.0, AM raps, "I'm on the block with the Glock, I'm ready to ride. If you're talking that talk, then you're asking to die," which was a direct call to violence. The authorities argued that the lyrics contained references to real-life conflicts and threats against rival groups. And in 2022, 20 alleged members of the G-Side Drilly gang were arrested in the Bronx during Operation Drilly. Prosecutors used their own drill music videos and social media posts as key evidence, linking lyrics and visuals to real-life shootings and crimes. One video, Bet by Lee Drilly and E. Woo, was specifically cited. Authorities argued the gang used drill music to boast about violence. Number 6, the underestimation mistake. Thinking you can outsmart the police is one of the deadliest mistakes any gangster can make. Take the case of the infamous Black Mafia family, founded by brothers Demetrius Big Meech Flannery and Terry Southwest T. Flannery. These dudes weren't small-time hustlers. They built a drug empire that stretched across the US. They thought they were untouchable, running drug operations on a massive scale while living lavish lifestyles. But what they didn't account for was the persistence of federal agents. Behind the scenes, the feds were building a case. Wiretaps, informants, surveillance, every move was recorded. In 2005, after years of quiet investigation, and Operation Motor City Mafia brought the empire crashing down, with over 150 arrests and 30-year sentences for the Flannery brothers. Their downfall wasn't a shootout or betrayal. It was the cold power of law enforcement. Number 7, the expansion mistake. In the criminal world, more territory means more cash, more firepower, and more blood on the streets. In the 1990s, the Cali cartel, led by the Rodriguez Orejuela brothers, was on top of the drug trade. They were corporate kings of cocaine. They made billions running their business from high-rise offices and controlling drug operations in New York, Miami, and Los Angeles. But the cartel made a big mistake when they tried to expand into new areas, including taking over parts of the Medellin cartel's territory. This stretched their resources and made them vulnerable to law enforcement and rival gangs. When they got involved in Colombia's 1994 presidential campaign, it made everything worse, leading to a huge political scandal. The more territory they took, the more attention they drew. Eventually, US and Colombian authorities stepped in with wiretaps, investigations, and international operations. By the mid-90s, the so-called untouchables were behind bars, betrayed by their own ambition. So, did these gangsters bring their downfall on themselves? Drop your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. Until the next chapter in the Outlaw Book.